So the time has come, guys. Unfortunately, this will probably be the last episode of Top 10 in AP World History with Wanda the Wandering Bear, unless I will have to do more episodes. It genuinely has been fun teaching you AP World, but nothing gold can stay. So I'm sorry to say, once you finish this video, you will only be passing half of the AP World exam. The first major event is the formation of Islam. A major religion known as Islam was beginning to form in this era. Muhammad, a merchant, started having visions which he says were from God himself. Islam has characteristics of several religions that came before, such as Zoroastrianism, Christianity, and Judaism. Major Islamic caliphates conquered vast regions and created great empires, such as the Umayyad and Abbasid dynasties. Islam also promoted trade through the protection of traders in Sharia law and promoting merchant status. The second major event is the split of Sunni and Shia. After Muhammad's son's death, there were major disagreements on who should be the caliphate. Sunnis think it should be based on what the community wants, while Shia believes that it should be the kin of Muhammad. The split is still seen today. The third major event is the fall of Western Rome. So, with the combination of a bunch of problems, Western Rome crumbled into pieces. But wait, it was not dead yet. The eastern part of Rome still remained and was known as the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantines saw themselves as an extension of Rome and continued some of Rome's most important legacies, such as law and Christianity. The fourth major event is the Golden Ages. What exactly is a Golden Age? In summary, a Golden Age is when life is great. There's peace, ideas are warmly spread, new inventions are being made, the sun is shining. But anyway, during the post-classical era, many regions experienced these Golden Ages. China had moments of prosperity due to the Tang and Song dynasty. Islamic empires had great achievements in medicine, astronomy, and philosophy. And overall, this time period saw an increasing amount of sophistication of cultures, ideas, and technology. The fifth major event is the Battle of Tours. If there was a battle that won the most important battle you've never heard of award, this one is it. The Battle of Tours was a battle in which the Franks were able to defeat the Umayyad Muslims to defend Iberia and prevent it from being taken over by Muslims. This battle helped solidify the Carolingians' ruling. The sixth major event is the East-West Schism. The East-West Schism marked the split of the Christian Church. Both the Byzantine Empire and Western Europe disagreed on what role the Church should play in government. The Byzantine rulers wanted to claim papal authority, while the West wanted the Pope himself to have papal authority. In the West, the Pope hailed Charlemagne as the Holy Roman Empire, while the Byzantines practiced Papism. The seventh major event is China's hegemony. What is that SAT word there? Hegemony is the social, cultural, ideological, or economic influence exerted by a dominant group. Cool. So what was China's hegemony? Well, one main problem with trying to get people to follow you was that it usually took conquering. And conquering other people takes money. And conquering too far equals hard to govern, which equals empire falling. Just ask the Islamic caliphates and Mongols about that. TLDR, conquering people brings prosperity, but it sucks eventually. So how do you extend your influence far without empires falling? Well, Tang Dynasty decided to use a tributary system to extend its influence. This system was used before in earlier dynasties, but was continued further in Tang Dynasty. The tributary system is a system in which other regions, especially neighboring ones, pay tribute to China to show its respect and submission to China. In return, China gave its influence to these regions, such as the Silla Kingdom and Korea. The eighth major event is the migration of the Bantu. Because of deteriorating deserts, the Bantu were in search of better areas, spreading south and east of Africa. They diffused their culture all throughout Africa, and the Bantu are attributed to the similarities among the different regions in Africa. One notable example of cultural diffusion caused by Bantu people is Swahili, the language. The language is said to be a combination of Bantu and Arabic, which is the language of Islam. The ninth major event is the Crusades. So, the Crusades started when Pope Urban III gave a message that called upon Western Europe to take back the Holy Land of the Middle East. Spoiler alert, it was pretty much a failure. Besides the first few Crusades, everything was pretty much considered defeats. However, all the Crusades were entirely useless. The Crusades introduced Western Europe to the trading network and later fostered major trading cities like Venice. The 10th major event is the Black Plague.
It's the plague, gonna kill you in a few days. A pandemic so severe, Black Death caused such horror and fear.
Summarized by one of man's greatest musical accomplishments. The Black Death meant that you'll be dead in no time flat, girl. Towards the end of the post-classical era, the Black Death killed a large proportion of the population during this time, with estimates going as high as 1/3 of the population. With all these deaths meant the decline of trade, urbanization, and labor. Humanity did not have a fun time during the Black Plague, obviously.
Deep in the Arabian desert, on the top of a mountain, the real God whispers in Muhammad's ear. So he goes down to the cube where everyone worships gods, and he tells them their gods are all fake. And everyone got so mad at him that he had to leave town and go to a different town. You can make a religion out of this, and maybe conquer the world as well.
The first major person/group is the Islamic States. You may be a little shocked by this, but the people in the Islamic States practice Islam. Two major empires were the Umayyads and Abbasids. Overall, the Islamic States were religiously tolerant and did not force conversions, though Arabs were favored for bureaucratic positions in the Umayyads. To encourage people to join Islam, they imposed a tax for non-Muslims. Women, though they weren't considered equal to men, did enjoy more rights than women in other empires. The Islamic States also played a major role in promoting trade, and Islam spread further than conquered areas through merchants and Sufis. The second major person/group is the Mongols.
The Mongols!
The Mongols are, in summary,
Cool!
In terms of military, they were superior. Though they were nomadic and not considered the most technological superior, they were certainly innovative and creative. Khan broke up the clans he conquered and divided them into separate military groups so his members would not be loyal to their original clans, but to him. Furthermore, the Mongols supported trade, and during Pax Mongolia, trade was very safe, and whoever disrupted trade would be punished severely. And by punished severely, I mean beheaded. Anyway, with the encouragement of trade, the Mongols were able to diffuse and exchange cultures. For instance, Islam, math, and astronomy were able to transfer to China, and China's block printing and gunpowder were able to transfer to Islam. The third major person/group is the Chinese dynasties. The Sui dynasty was a temporary unifying dynasty. Probably the most important achievement of the Sui dynasty that you'll need to know for an exam is the Grand Canal. The Grand Canal connected China and helped bring China into the Indian Ocean trade network later on. The Tang dynasty attempted to fix some of the Han dynasty problems. The Tang created an equal field system to prevent the wealthy from owning too much land. They also implemented a merit-based bureaucracy based on Confucianism. The government was no longer primarily based on family connections and could run more effectively. As mentioned before, the Tang dynasty extended its influence through tributary states. The Song dynasty followed the Tang dynasty. The Song was characterized by a focus on itself and a development of sophisticated culture, though it did not have as strong of an influence to other regions like the Tang did. Another important event in the Tang dynasty was the rise of Buddhism, which prompted the creation of Neo-Confucianism. Neo-Confucianism was a new form of Confucianism that combined some aspects of Buddhism to appeal more to the common people. The fourth major person/group is the African empires. During this period, regions of Africa, including the Mali Empire and Swahili city-states, were able to have a prominent world and global networks because of the growth of trade. One notable thing of African kingdoms was that Islam did spread to these regions, but it would be the kings to adopt Islam first before the common people. Islam did synchronize with the local religions and combine aspects of the local African religions. The Mali kingdom could export gold, and one ruler, Mansa Musa, went on a hajj and he gave away so much gold that he inflated the value of it. Timbuktu, the capital of Mali, was an important city for Muslim scholars and became a hub for learning and trading. The Swahili city-states were on the coast of Africa and created great wealth for Africa by encouraging trade, specifically from the Indian Ocean trade network. They spoke Swahili, a combination of Bantu and Arabic. The fifth major person/group is Marco Polo. Marco Polo was an explorer from Venice who explored China primarily. He met the ruler of the Ren dynasty, Kublai Khan. The records for his stories were recorded by his cellmates when he was in prison, and at that time, his stories seemed too fascinating to be true. The sixth major person/class group is Western Europe. Western Europe was what remained after the western part of Rome fell. It was a largely militaristic society with feudalism in place. It practiced Roman Catholic Christianity, though it split from the East, who practiced Orthodox Christianity. The church overall was a central part of life in Western Europe, hence why at this time was called the Age of Faith. When Charlemagne gave the Pope protection, he in return hailed Charlemagne as the Holy Roman Empire, when the Pope still had the authority. With the establishment of the Pope's authority, church hierarchy, wandering ministers, and monasteries became a central part of Western Europe. The seventh major person/group is the Byzantine Empire. The eastern part of what remained of the Roman Empire became the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire started to differ more and more from the Western Europe as time went on. They practiced Orthodox Christianity. The government rulers claimed papal authority through a method known as papism. One major accomplishment of the Byzantines was a standard code system known as Justinian Code by, and this will shock you, Justinian, a Byzantine ruler. The Hagia Sophia, a fascinating Orthodox building, was built during the Byzantine reign. The eighth major person/class group is Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta was a famous traveler who traveled through the Islamic Empire. He was critical and expected good hospitality and was very honest during his reviews. He observed many regions in the Islamic Empire and he noted the differences to the original empire that he experienced. The ninth major person/class group is the Vikings. The Vikings were a nomadic group that plundered the West, but traded with the East. They were the reason for feudalism in the West, due to the plundering and a need for a military society to defend against them. The 10th major person/class group is the Armenian world. Powerful states started to form in the Americas, such as the Mayans, Incas, and Aztecs. They started to develop complex communication and irrigation systems. One major irrigation system was the Chinapa systems for the Aztecs. These regions became conquered in the next era. Now, let's talk about factors. The first major factor is trade. Trade, though it was important before, became more influential during this period. With the advancement in technology, trade could expand further and incorporate more regions. With trade, major notable goods and ideas were able to be transferred across regions. The second major factor is the formation of powerful trading cities. Many notable cities, such as Hangzhou, Timbuktu, and Venice, just to name a few, developed during this period. These trading cities were hubs for ideas, knowledge, and goods that represented the region it was in and became largely influential to the trading networks. The third major factor is technological innovations. Many cool things were invented during this period, such as gunpowder compasses from China, medicine and astronomy from Islam, and chimpan and rice from Vietnam. These innovations were evident of the growing knowledge that led to more exploration and gave economic prosperity to these regions. The fourth major factor is the fusion of religion, culture, and language. With the fusion of religion, culture, and language, you have one empire dominating other regions culturally, but also affecting the lives of different regions, like regions who adopted Islam, giving more rights to women. These cultural effects can still be seen even today. The fifth major factor is the formation of diaspora communities. Diaspora communities were vital to helping trade grow. They helped link together two vastly different regions to trade together. These communities could also form hubs for their originate culture so it can grow and merchants can come over to trade. The sixth major factor is feudalism, thieves systems, and formation of labors. During this period, different empires tried different ways to experiment with labor to find the most efficient way. For instance, in Europe, they turned to more militaristic labor, the feudal system and thief system, to help defend themselves from outsiders and still be efficient. The seventh major factor is the growth of state practice and trade. States started to get more involved in directing trade and promoting the growth of it. One major example is the Grand Canal from the Sui dynasty, with states trying to promote trade, brought growth, and increased their ability to spread their influence. The eighth major factor is currency innovations. Currency innovations help promote safer and efficient trade. Innovations such as bank and flying money let travelers not carry a whole stack of coins, and China's paper money was much more efficient than the coin system, and even today we still use paper money. The ninth major factor is patriarchy, but also the growing rights of women. Women were still not equal to men during this period. One major example of patriarchy is the foot binding system for women, which was seen as beautiful but immobilized women to be subordinate to men. However, women did experience more freedom, specifically in Islamic Christianity. In Islam, women had notable rights such as being able to own land, and in Christianity, they could practice monasticism. The 10th major factor is disease. Of course, not everything was happy in this period. Diseases and major epidemics wiped out large proportions of populations and halted the growth in regions. With disease, urbanization, trade, and economic growth decreased. So, thank you for watching. I do apologize that you won't be able to pass the whole AP exam, but, you know, grades don't define you, and I wish you luck in your AP World journey, and I know it's stressful, but I believe you can do it. So, bye! Honda closing up.